So here's where I think I'm going to start it. So this is basically just to kind of show you guys what I go through or how I do this. This glowy thing here doesn't actually glow. The reason you can see it is because it emits infrared signals or light, which is received by this um, receiver here for the track IR. Really neat hardware and software in there. Basically, it lets me track all motion in like was it like six axes or something like that, um, which makes it really nice for any kind of game actually, um, especially where it supports it, like flight sims, a lot of some FPSs actually do it too. Like I don't want to think. I think Battlefield 5 does, which is interesting. But anyways, I'm also using. That's my phone, by the way. There's just nothing going on there. I'll just get that out of the way here. I dropped my soda on the floor. But this is my Thrustmaster T-Flight Hotaz X flight stick. It's a nice value for like 50 bucks or however much it costs. It's a nice little stick. So, anyways, back to DCS here. Just to show you guys what this is, um, for anyone wondering, I'm wearing a hat so it doesn't mess up my hair and because it helps keep my headphones on. That's why this is so far out, so I can actually turn my head without the hat getting in the way. Speaking of which, as you can probably see in the background there, it tracks my head, so I can go side to side. I'll get in here first. So I can go side to side, I can go up and down, I can go back and forward, I can turn right and left, I can do any combination, which is really nice, because I can do this and make everyone motion sick, but I'm not going to. Anyways, so this is the if I can look at it, if it gives me a decent view. Basically, it's the F-15C Eagle. I like it because it's easy to fly. So let's go ahead and get this guy started here. Turn on the landing light, or the electrics there. Then we also have to turn on the engines. I have my flight list over here, or my checklist. That's why it's over here. We'll go ahead and close the canopy. Feels nice. All right, let's go ahead and start the engines up. And you see down here on these two gauges, which one is it? Is it that? Yeah, on that gauge and that gauge. And then as well as here and here, you'll see them start to ramp up, which means the engine is spooling. Like that one's ramping up, which means I didn't turn on my left engine. Hopefully that one started it. Come on. Any second now. Did I do it wrong? Oh, there it goes. Perfect. Okay, so we'll get rid of... Uh-oh, I just opened my canopy again. Come back. Is it... There we go, I got rid of that. Okay, so we gotta turn on the electronics. I'm trying to remember all this by the seat of my pants, by the way. How do I turn on electrics? I think it's left shift and L. Haha, there we go. Perfect. I'm remembering things. Anyways, we'll recenter that. Engines have stabilized. We can actually take a look at the back here, and it's very loud. So we'll stop that for now. But you can see down here, I've got my weapon select, I've got my radar scope there, I've also got a localizer there. Chris, if you're watching this, you might remember this from Mr. Murphy's class, some of these dials down there. You have your attitude indicator as well as your, I forget what it's called. I have a thing in my book here because I printed out the flight manual so I'd have it so I can look at these checklists and things. Sorry about making you motion sick, by the way. But let's go ahead and see about taxiing out. I'm not familiar with this runway, but that's okay. I'm just going to go this way here. Excellent. This is a fully loaded F-15, by the way. So I've got sidewinders, I've got AIM 120s. I believe I've also got some AIM 7s, as well as the 20 millimeter cannon. Yep, stabilized, dude. Okay, there we go. But you can see the HUD up there. I could increase the brightness, but it looks bright enough to me. It'd be nice to make it bigger, but that's fine. Just gonna taxi to the end of the runway here, and we can actually take a look at the plane in all of its glory. It's a beautiful aircraft. It's when it came out, and it was the most advanced fighter jet in the world, and they actually used it just about everywhere. And I think, according to what it says in here in the flight manual, because it has some background history in there, I'm taxiing way too fast, by the way. You'd never taxi this fast. But what it says in there is that in for whatever time, I forget what it is, but it scored 100 aerial victories to 0 losses in use with, I think it was Israeli, Saudi Arabian, and the US forces combined, which is pretty impressive. I mean, you get 100 kills with 0 losses in just about anything. It's a pretty good day, or a pretty good run. I feel like I'm in a different place than I usually am, but that might just be me. Okay. Are we approaching runway 9? Yeah, we gotta be. Okay. Yep, end of the runway is right down here. Perfect. I'm getting off center line, but that's okay. I'm getting way off center line. But that's okay. And yeah, that's a lot of dials and switches down there, by the way. I don't know what half of them do, but I've got keyboard shortcuts to help. Okay, this should take me to the very end of the runway, which it does. That's perfect. Got all the hangars over here. So no one's coming, so we'll just go ahead and get over to the runway then. Alrighty. And there's a couple things I have to do to get there, namely put up or put down the flaps and just go. It's basically what it comes down to. Pulse the brakes, runway's clear. Let's see if they'll give me clearance here. Because this is... Oh, I went to the wrong side. Oh well. I went to runway 27 instead of runway 9. But that's okay. There's nothing else. So I'll just go ahead and go. Yeah, is that right? Did I go to the... Is it 27? Yeah, it's 27. That says 27. Runway number is based on direction, by the way, in case you didn't know. I know Chris knows that if he's watching. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the flaps down. Since it is a fully loaded aircraft, we'll go ahead and increase throttle to just about max, and we'll just go ahead and go. We want to get up to about 150 knots, but we want to tilt or rotate up about 10 degrees. Whoop, that's a lot more than 10 degrees. There we go. Till it picks up. Like I said, heavily loaded aircraft, it's gonna, there we go. It's gonna take a bit to get it off the ground. We'll go ahead and put flaps and gear up. Whoop. And then we are golden in the air. So that was runway 27. So if we're gonna do a standard holding or standard pattern, we would go out, turn left to heading 18, right? Yeah, 18. And then we would go for a bit and then turn to left heading 9 or 90 until we got quite a ways away. So I'll go ahead and actually just turn now to heading 18. It's amazing how much you remember once you start actually flying again. There's the beautiful runway we just took off from. Okay. So basically, this runway is nice because you just go from flying west to flying south, and then from flying south to flying east. The magnetic compass right there is close, but this one's closer. So we'll fly this way for a bit. I'm going a bit quick for a pattern. Actually, no, I'm going about the right speed for a pattern in this plane. But if I want to turn my radar on, I could just do that. Boom, my radar is on. I can switch between different navigation modes. There's nav, here's the ILS. There's also this for my BVR stuff. This is the AIM 120s mainly. And then here's, if I can get it right here. There's my sidewinders. You can hear the distinctive hum or buzz. But we'll go ahead and go ILS, and we should already have this one. Where the hell did it go? That one over there. We should already have that selected as our thing. So now we gotta head 9 or 90. We're just about there, which 90 is just due east. So we just head east here. We're getting a bit high. We're sitting at 5,800, which isn't that bad. I think we're about close to 5,000 feet above ground, or AGL, above ground level, because this is above sea level. I'm not sure what the runway height is because I didn't look. But the runway's way over there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's way over there. So I actually went quite a ways out, a lot farther than I meant to. But yeah, so I can like switch weapons here. So I can bring up gun sight, fire my guns. Like if I go here, wait, that's the wrong button. Ha. I could do that. I can't launch any other weapons without a lock. Like you see, I have my, this one's my Sidewinder because you can hear the distinctive hum. This one here is probably, yeah, that's one of my, that's an AIM 120C. This one's my AIM 7, so it's a Sparrow. And then there's the Sidewinder again. We'll go ahead and get rid of that. It's way the hell over there. Okay. So since I flew so far out, I'm actually going to make a 30-degree intercept. So I'm going to turn, oh wait, what is that? That's a completely different runway, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's see if I can... Nope, guess not. Yeah, cool. Yeah, because that's a totally different runway. Where's my runway? I'm lost. That's what it is, I'm lost. I'm just going to follow my waypoint here. Normally I'm not talking when I do this, I'm just kind of going. But here's the cool thing. Since I don't have any emission or anything, I'm actually just going to open the throttle up all the way. And you see down at the bottom right where it says fuel quantity, I don't think I set fuel limits on, but if you look at my tachometer right there, my Mach gauge, we're going pretty speedy. Right now we're about 600 knots, which isn't that fast, to be perfectly honest. We're sitting at about 0.65 Mach, if I can read that correctly. We're rapidly decreasing altitude. But I believe I have the afterburners on. Yep. Who's texting? Oh, it's one of my coworkers. Okay. Getting faster, but because it's so heavy right now, I don't think it's gonna, and because it's so low, we probably have some pretty thick air. Our acceleration is gonna kind of suffer a bit. But pour on the juice and give it some backstick. Careful for the positive G's. Let's go 30 degrees and see what happens. See, our speed is not decreasing very quickly because this is an extremely powerful aircraft. We're just dropping past 500 knots. But now we're starting to decrease speed quite rapidly, so we'll go ahead and decrease our angle of attack, or our rate of climb, I suppose. See, but in that short amount of time, we went from 2,000 feet above ground to 22,000 feet. Or I mean above sea level, to 22,000 feet above sea level. And that's pretty good going. At this altitude, it should be much easier to hit Mach speed, theoretically. But yeah, like if you want to see the difference between afterburners and not afterburners. Not afterburners. Afterburner. But it's pretty nice, pretty sweet, pretty serene. Sitting about 450 knots, fully loaded here. I bet if I drop my tanks, I'd go much faster. How do I drop tanks? I think that's in systems. Let's go. Fuel dump. Jettison fuel tanks. Left Alt and R. Okay, so let's take a look here. I need to get down here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Boom. Now let's watch our speed. Whoop, starting to get speed. Slowly gaining speed. And also keep in mind, we're at Angels 23,000 feet. And we might be going so slow because I don't have fuel depletion on. So we're not running out of fuel at all. But let's just go ahead and put it into a gentle 10-degree climb, see where we can get. Starting to lose a bit of speed, but not a lot of speed. Like, it's still a fast plane. And it's so beautiful, too. Just look at that. And compared to the last time I flew this, it's much smoother on my end. Because last time I flew this, I was really just trying to get like, what can I shoot missiles? How can I shoot missiles? What can I shoot them at? But now I'm actually trying to learn how to fly it. Like we're at 30,000 feet. Well, 35,000 feet almost. It's like if we crank it up to a 20-degree climb here, see what we can get. Angel's 40. Go ahead and level her off. See what we can get here as far as speed. But since we're so heavy, because of all the fuel and stuff, mirrors, look at that. Isn't that cool? There's mirrors. Real nice in a dogfight because you go like, oh shit, where is he? But you guys want to see some fancy flying? Just go ahead and cut the throttle, pull it back. Okay, let's head back. Heading 27 due west. Pour on the throttle. See what kind of speed we can get from 30,000 feet. That's nearly 6 miles at a negative 25 degrees. Let's drop it down to 35 or 40. Let's drop it down to 40. See what we can do. Have we passed? We passed the sound barrier. We passed Mach 1. So let's pull up here, pour off the afterburner, pour it back on. See where we can get with this thing, treetop. But you can tell that we're past Mach 1 because when you're flying with the plane, you can't hear anything. But when you go past it, you can hear that boom. That's just so neat, just seeing it go so fast, such low altitude. I'm gonna die. That was close. Anyways, this is just the kind of thing that I like doing. Like, I did, like, for a couple hours yesterday, I just did takeoffs and landings. Like, that's all I did. Like, how far am I from the airfield, actually? Let's see if I can... How do I open up the map? I don't know. Communications. Wrong one. View. Here we go. Arcade chase view. That might be interesting. I don't know. Let's go with map. Theater map view. Here we go. F10. Oh, that's F8. F10. Here we go. So, as far as where the airfield is, pretty sure it's this one. No, actually, I have no idea what airfield we took off from. How do I get out of here? Crap. Oh, I know how to get out of here. Never mind. There we go. Yeah, I have no idea where we came from, so I'm just gonna chill. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I do in DCS. Because I'm still learning this thing. I don't have a whole lot of time with it. Wait, hold on. Let's try left shift and F4. Check that out. Isn't that the coolest thing you ever saw? Sorry, I'm having way too much fun. Oh, over G. Jeez. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, man. We are way up here. Bingo, fuel. Uh-oh. That means I'm out of fuel. Or I'm going to be out of fuel. So generally, find an airfield, find it fast. So let's climb up with the speed and fuel we have. So we might be able to glide back. Because we still have some fuel. It's because I was burning the afterburner the entire time. That's why. It actually uses a lot less fuel than I thought it would. You can't see me, like, but I'm scanning all my gauges here. I think you see my fuel there. It's getting dangerously low. So we're at 20,000 feet. We'll come off the afterburner. Try to find us an airfield. We need to head south. So let's head south. Is that heading 180? Yeah, that's 180. Because north is 0. I'm actually going to keep it pretty slow here. So I'm going to decrease my throttle, decrease my climb rate, because 20,000 feet should be more than enough to get us a couple miles to the nearest airfield. Because fuel level's getting dangerously low. Okay. I'm going to increase my throttle a bit so we can actually get there. But just this is like the kind of view that you get from 20,000 feet. Like you can see the curvature of the Earth right there. Very slightly. And some of it's a field of view thing, but you can actually see it. That's the neat bit. Let's get my map up here. So let's go ahead and see here. Oh, they got lots of cool stuff. Cool. Don't know where that is, but it's 98 meters above sea level. Runway's 9 and 27. Oh, that's the runway we took off from. Cool. That makes things much easier. So it should be just before that body of water down there. And I should have enough fuel to get there. I wonder if I can tune these. No, guess not. If you're wondering how I can do that without my hands, it's called trim. If you trim your aircraft, it'll fly at a certain speed it'll maintain a certain speed. And it'll do that by adjusting control surfaces to where they stay. So you basically stay at the same airspeed by either pitching down or pitching up. Down to gain speed, up to lose speed. So I'm basically maintaining nearly level flight, as you can see by our this indicator here. That's our vertical velocity, or vertical velocity indicator. Um, push to jet. Okay. Emergency jet steer mode. Master arm. Ooh, fancy. I'm just checking these out while we're on our way, because I don't think I'm able to actually manipulate any of these for some reason. I'm not, but that's fine. All right, how far are we from this airfield? Just a couple miles. Cool. It's there. I'm gonna, again, 30-degree intercept, or 30-degree offset to 150. That's southeast, I believe. Yeah, southeast. 150. Well, south-southeast, I guess, is what you might call it. But where is that pesky airfield? I am descending now, by the way, and that is intentional. So I'm going to actually decrease my throttle here. I think it's right there, like at the center of the screen. Yeah, that's definitely it. All right, so I'm going to basically go null throttle, well, just barely above idle. Actually, I'm going to go idle. And I'm just going to cruise down here. 300, 350 knots. It's probably what it'll descend to, or at, just so I can actually make it to the airfield, because that's definitely the airfield down there. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But we're at 20,000 feet. Airfield's just above sea level. So we need to lose a bunch of this altitude and fairly quickly. So a good way to do that would be to pop the air brake, slow us way down. As you see, like my speed indicator in knots there, it's off to the, it's on this side here. This is where you can see my speed. This little caret indicates my speed. That slowed us way down. And you can tell because of that right there. Just keep an eye on that whenever I bring the air brake back in. I think that brought the air brake in. I could be wrong. Yep, there it goes. Curious. I'm not getting speed very fast, that's why. Yep, that's definitely our airfield. It's gotta be, right? Oh, no, that's a different airfield. So I have to... Is it that way? Which way is it? It's behind us. So let's go ahead and pull a 180 here. It's that way, huh? Yeah, we're losing a lot of speed here. We gotta lose some altitude to keep our speed. It's because that was pretty high G. Okay, so it's just to the south of where we're pointing. Oh, there it is. I see it now. Okay, give it a bit of gas so it stays in the air. It's basically dead ahead. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's just to the just above that little W looking thing. So it's just a bit farther away than this particular airfield. And we should have enough fuel to get there. Yeah, we shouldn't have any problem getting there with this fuel. And as far as nav, let's put the ILS back on. And I'm gonna go again 30-degree intercept, basic ILS approach, because my needle is off. You see that yellow vertical thing there? That's your ILS needle. It's a bunch of other needles. It's the same thing for a bunch of other stuff as well. But I'm using this for ILS right now. And I can tell that I'm off on the runway. So that's why I'm doing an intercept here. But once I get closer to on, that's when I'll turn in. And it's going to say that I'm really low on my approach, which is fine. Because I mean, I can always pull up a bit to get better on my approach. Fuel's getting super low. Oh, rocking a bit. But if we take a look at the needle here, it's still saying that we're off, but it will converge because I know what I'm looking at. Luckily, this isn't zero visibility. I think it's that to change, or is it that? I'm not sure. But either way, I'm going to decrease my speed because I'm coming in a bit fast. But we're on runway 27 is what we're approaching, the same one we took off from. Trying to see if this needle's going to come because I think I'm actually on the wrong setting for my approach here, and I need to slow down a bit more. Yep, there's the air brake. Let's drop flaps, drop gear. Okay, let's keep this guy right at the end of the runway, little circle thing. Raise the air brake. I'm pretty sure I raised the air brake. Let's drop the air brake back. Let's go ahead and bring it in nice and smooth. Flare out. Nice, gentle touchdown. Go ahead and pulse the brakes. Let the nose drop. And pulse the brakes down to the end of the runway. And hopefully don't lose control of the aircraft on the runway. Yep, because it gets a little squirrely. But now we're back down to taxiing speed, so we could take the next exit off the runway. So yeah, I didn't have the right ILS tuned in. I didn't have the right things, but that's fine. I got 500 pounds of fuel left, which is not a lot for this thing because it burns a lot of fuel. I think that's 500 pounds. I think that's what it means. Yep, pounds. Cool. Looks like my next exit is coming up right here. And also, you're supposed to take the center line, but I've been kind of drifting off. Pulse the brakes so I can actually make my turn. Yep, Pontiac 11 is me, apparently. But yeah, going pretty slow. Give it a bit of gas just so we can get to the runway or to the taxiway. We'll go ahead and turn right in. Yeah, you could tell we're in somewhere in the Europe, Asia area because there's not as many markings on this runway. But now we're back where we began, right at the ramp. And that's just kind of one of my adventures in the F-15, non-combat, just screwing around a bit, taking off, landing, just getting used to it basically. Finding out what it can do, what it can't do. Just generally trying to figure out how she behaves. Okay, I turned a bit late there, but that's fine. As long as I'm not on the taxiway. Go ahead and shut the engines down. Eventually they'll start to ramp down, I think. Oh no, here we go. There we go. Engines ramping down. Go ahead and turn off the lights. Turn that stuff off. Open the canopy. And that's flight done. It's oh, my air brake never went down. Maybe that's why it was a bit of a rocky landing. Oops. But yeah, it's just such a sleek aircraft. Like, I mean, look at that thing. It's so nice. Oh, what the heck? Oh, this must be a map. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed a little look into this. I had a lot of fun, like you can see here. Yeah, like here's all the times I shot that M61 cannon just for giggles. But like mission to start, I took control of the aircraft, started up the engine, took off, guns, landing, shut down the engine, ended there. But pretty nice. I didn't have any enemies or anything, of course, but I, I like it. It's just fun to get into and just kind of play around. So, anyways, I'm gonna try to keep getting better at this, and hopefully, eventually, I'll be an ace pilot. It'll take a long time to get used to it, but next, I've just got to learn navigation systems and um, all the other cool stuff: navigation systems, weapon systems, electrical systems, all kinds of stuff. It's a pretty thick manual, and it's got everything in there. Like, I don't know how well you saw it, but it's basically like one subject notebooks. There's like 160 pages in here or something, 140 something. Yeah. So definitely a lot to learn, and I just hope something like this is entertaining to watch, or at least it's kind of enjoyable. But either way, have a good day, folks, and maybe we'll see you around.